All right, a little bit of a crypto update. Um, as you've seen in quick look surprised, crypto is recovering massively. Bitcoin, which saw a low of I think, matter of fact, I don't have to think anything. Let me pull up a chart. Um, Hang on one second. There we go. And that's hourly. What was the low here? 1861. This is on is this Coinbase's yeah, this is from Coinbase. 1779. If you could have timed that one. 1779. Again, we'll round off about 1850. You know, a big difference, right? But you know, if you perfectly timed it, that's one thing, but we normally don't get that lucky, you know, we normal people, right? So you got 1800 something here has already recovered. Look at this. 2875. 1800 to 2800 is $1,000. It has gained a third in value, Bitcoin. Most of which has happened today. From 2300 up to 28. Just an FYI, what I've done, I realize these are a little bit, they're in the red. What does that mean? I don't know what time this, you know, because it's a 24-hour period. So all I know is right now at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, I'm pretty close. I'll give you an estimate as to when this resets for the day or whatever. And it's probably around 7 or 8 o'clock p.m., somewhere around there, Eastern time. And then it starts over for the day. So right now, the day has started and Ethereum's down 1.5%, you know, $3. Litecoin's actually up a hair. So is Monero, whatever. Bitcoin, though, again, we're touching 2,800 right now. High was 2872 just like an hour ago, if that. Anyways, I told you I was completely out of Bitcoin. I have now flipped some Ethereum into about 1.75 Bitcoin. Cliff High, of course, you've read his reports and whatnot. He's already talked about the SegWit thing coming up. It's not really going to affect us at all. I told you guys I was pulling out because I want to get closer to the date of SegWit, which is getting close now, the potential fork or whatever of Bitcoin. But seeing the explosive action here recently, and Cliff, I think, said we're going to see $3,800 Bitcoin, $3,800, I think, in the not too distant future. You know what? Time to get back in. Now, one thing, let me switch this off of my screen just so I make sure I'm not showing any kind of confidential information. Because when I come out here and I talk about this stuff, and I'm telling you, I bought some more Ethereum, I bought some more Litecoin, I know there's some morons out there who think I'm just full of crap. Oh, he's just saying that. He's not really doing it yet. Okay. Just make sure there's no identifiable information on this page. So, I've had an account at Coinbase, and I've had an account at Gemini. I really enjoy Gemini. It's fast, it's easy, etc. What I've found out, though, is both Gemini and I already knew Coinbase, once you make an order, but to buy Ethereum or Bitcoin or whatever, you lock in at the price that it's at, but then you have to wait a number of days before it actually gets to you in your account where you can access it, trade it out of the exchange or whatever, move it off the exchange. So I'm telling you, I don't know how many days it's been now. It's probably been 10 or 11 days ago. I did the video where I said, guys, we could see low $100 something, $100 and something dollar Ethereum. I talked about why. My biggest reason why. We have several ICOs coming up, all within days of each other, and I think they're going to suck Ethereum out of the system. And someone asked me, well, how come the other coins go down? So I did a video explaining why I think, my opinion, I think the other coins go down with it. And I gave the example where, let's say you've got 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 10, whatever it may be, different coins or tokens, whatever, ICOs that you're in, and you're sitting on them, and then all of a sudden, oh, this, you know, for example, Pillar, I want to get on some Pillar. Man, I'm kind of tapped out right now. I need to unload a few of my other coins. I'm not all of them. I'll take a few of those ones. I'll take a few of those ones, take a few of those ones, take a few of those ones, and take a few of those ones, sell them off for Ethereum, which is what you normally do. Now I've got some Ethereum to play with, and now I'm going to go into this ICO. And as I said, believe me, you're not the only one with that thought. That's how it always happens with people and with events that are happening. And, well, I want to get in on this, this pillar ICO or whatever the ICO is you want in on. Trust me, there's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of other people who are thinking the same thing at right around the same time you're thinking it for the same reason why you're thinking it. Therefore, a lot of people are going to do the same action. That was my opinion. I think it's safe to say it was right, seeing how the whole market went down. Everyone's all freaking, not everyone, but, some of the shills and some people who can't, and some people who just can't stomach it, not necessarily shills. And I've been telling you for months, you're going to be seeing breathtaking moves both up and down. Cliff High has warned about this in his reports, and we've seen it. So I've been telling you, guys, there are going to be people who make some good flipping on Ethereum, not flipping, but sell off, not even at the high, but sure, if you can time the high perfect, great for you. It's going to come down big, heavy duty, buy back in, ride it back up. This is going to happen time and time again. So I'm going to show you my Coinbase account because I did make a purchase there since I've used them in the past. My account has already been set up. Even though I'm on Gemini, I wasn't about to go wire money and go to my bank to wire it over to Gemini when I can just go straight into Coinbase and just go boop, click it in, done. So I do like Gemini though. Again, I love using Gemini. So here's my screenshot. Arrives on Saturday, 7/22. Arrives on Saturday, 7/22. I got 5 Ethereum and about 13 Litecoin. So yes, some of this is luck plays a role when it comes to trading activities. No, I don't care who you are. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you like I'm some kind of genius and I knew 100% the bottom, and I don't. But I'm out here doing videos to tell you guys what I expect and roughly how soon I expect it. I might not get it right, but damn it, I've been doing pretty good. I might say I'm picking some times in movements on these things, which is great. I'm happy. I'm glad because I can share it with you guys, which I have been, and we can all decide to make moves or not. Right? We're all in charge of ourselves, what we do and what we don't do. So, the math here, by the way. 700. Now, keep in mind this fee that you see here, $737. That includes the Coinbase fee, so it's actually a little less than what you're about to see that I actually got these for. 737 divided by 5. I picked up 5 Ethereum for $147. Let me tell you how happy that makes me. But I also want to show you what 13.23 divided by $507, or maybe I had that backwards. Sorry, hold on. Whoops. 507 divided by 13.23, $38. Again, there's a fee involved for using the exchange. It was actually $37 when I jumped in on that. Talk about getting, at the bottom. I love it. And I had people emailing me, oh, I did too. I got it here. Love it. I love it. What's the old saying? I love it when a plan comes together. What was that? Wasn't G.I. Joe. What was that? Was it G.I. Joe? Love it when a plan comes together. So I'm sharing that with you to show you that when I tell you I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that, or this weekend I purchase, I'm not just saying it to pretend. I really do it. Hey, why don't you practice what you preach? I practice what I preach, right? That's what the old saying is. And I had quite a few people. Hey, I did too. Great. So anyways, we're looking back at Ethereum, $225 today, which today being Thursday, by the way, Thursday evening right now, but 222 as I'm actually talking, 223 on the other one. Two different exchanges, whatever. $147 Ethereum, 225 roughly. Not bad, especially when it's only been a couple days, right? This is what the webbot had talked about. Massive moves down and massive recoveries. Only to find out some news story, $32 million worth of Ethereum was stolen and yada, yada, yada from phishing and hacking attacks, and $32 million. That's more than the entire Pillar ICO pulled in. I think they were at 20-something million. Just to put that into context of what some of the hacking people or groups are capable of doing with their fake phishing scams and all this crap, man. It's terrifying to look at this stuff and see that those kind of numbers moving around, and Ether La La Land, internet land. And someone emailed me and said, man, all I did, I went, used the Tor browser. I went and got on this ICO for, I think it was, I forgot which one he said. Was it Pillar maybe? I don't remember. And so he says, I went there, I went to my Ether wallet, and I haven't even been back on since. And my stuff was missing now. So he shared me with his address. I looked it up, tried to follow it. Yep. Oh, looks like there's a scammer out there because I'm following where it got sent to. And boy, there are a number of transactions of Ether going to that address, as well as altcoins like Pillar and whatever. Veritasium, all kinds. So people are just getting hit somehow. And he said he did it with the Tor browser. Now, I'm just going to say, and I'm not saying that he may have found my video at the time, so he already knew this, but I'm going to say it again because I have said this before. I just want to make it clear in case anyone else out there has done this. I always said, use the Tor browser only to go to the ICO company's website, get the address, because if you're from America, a lot of times it doesn't show up. Get the address, copy that address, close the Tor browser. Open up Google Chrome. You should have the Chrome browser. Go to your My Ether wallet site, and then do the transaction in the Chrome browser. And I think he did it in the Tor browser. And I don't know that the connection from your computer to the Tor browser is secure. Even though once you go to My Ether wallet, that connection should be secure. So I don't know that. And if it's not secure from you to the Tor browser, it could easily be sniffed on a network, which means your private key and stuff could have been sniffed. So what I'm going to tell you now is if you by chance use the Tor browser to do these kind of things, and you know for a fact, or you're not even sure, maybe you did, maybe you didn't, you don't know, you also went to My Ether wallet, put in your private key and did some kind of things there with the Tor browser, I'm going to advise you immediately, go back to My Ether wallet using the Chrome browser. Do not mess with Tor browser right now at all. Create a new account on myetherwallet.com. You'll get your address, you'll get your private key, save them like you always have done off your computer, print them out to a printer, store them in a notebook with like the plastic sleeve, keep it safe, take a copy of that text file or whatever, put it on a USB stick, and save that sucker as a secondary backup. And then go ahead and log back into the old Ether account, that My Ether wallet account that has your coins or whatever, and go in there and start transferring everything out of there into your new My Ether wallet account. If you've been using the Tor browser to browse myetherwallet.com, because this may have been why, and I don't know for sure. And if you're not 100% sure, do it anyways, what I just told you, because it can't hurt. It doesn't cost anything. Cost you, make sure you turn the gas price on Ether. If it's on 60, get it off of there. Put it down to like 15 or something, or 17. That way you're not charging yourself extra Ether to move these things to your new wallet. Just a little bit of advice. So anyways, all the cryptos are recovering again, but then we had this breaking news story about the 32 million stolen, yada yada, and then the whole thing went blood red again. Everybody's selling, and the person with the Ethereum's probably selling, and $32 million they're probably selling off. Caused a big crash down again, and then it recovered like next day instantly, up 20%, 18%, 22%. Wow. Is this not incredible to see these insane moves? Again, people are just going to make money messing with these things. And you might say, man, with all this hacking stuff, Joe, I'm done with ICOs, and I think I'm done. I'm just going to play Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. That's it. I'm done. You know what? I'll tell you now, I don't blame you. It's scary seeing this stuff and wondering, have I been hacked? Is there something on my computer logging my keystrokes? I mean, all this stuff. Of course, that if there is something on your computer logging your keystrokes, it don't matter what you're using with your wallet now. At least with those three coins that I just mentioned, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, if you have the Exodus wallet and you do your backup after you transfer your coins to the Exodus wallet, and it does not do altcoins, it only does main coins like Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin. It doesn't do Pillar and that kind of stuff. It does not do the CR20 or whatever tokens. Only does the main cryptos. So once you do that and you back up, you do the backup, it'll email you a link. And then it also has a 12 keyword file as part of that backup. Save that, print it out, save a copy as a text file to your little USB stick as well. That's for your Exodus wallet. You'll do the backup feature. And then it'll ask you to set a password. So at least if you set a password, if somehow your computer got compromised or something, and they're trying to use your Exodus wallet to transfer stuff out to somewhere else, they can't, because it needs your permission. The other thing about some of the exchanges, they have two-factor authentication, which, it'll either text your phone, did you want to do a transfer out? Hey, what is this? No, I didn't do that. It's safekeeping, but then you got to rely on the exchange that hopefully doesn't go down, hopefully it doesn't get taken down, hopefully it doesn't get hacked and they steal the private keys. There's this is new incredible technology, but this is like we're in danger land. Mad Max internet crypto land where the hackers are out in force. You just got to be super, super, focused on what's happening and learn all this stuff. And I know it's hard when there's so many people who don't know anything about this. They could barely use a computer to begin with. And believe me, I get the emails, I know. And they're trying to figure out how to transfer over here. How do I get in an ICO? And I'm trying to help the best I can. I've put these videos together and how to try to keep your stuff safe. And man, and I do get the emails. Hey, I lost this. I got hacked. I got this happen. They stole it. And I'm like, oh, I feel so bad. So I'm going to end this video with a little story. Sometimes I'm a little sucker when I see a person struggling with a sign and their kid standing next to them, like they need some financial help or food or something. So, I'm moving and I'm looking at zero turn type of used lawnmowers, riding mowers. My brother-in-law does his own landscaping and lawn care business, but I thought, I got a few acres now. I'm not living in, 1/8 of an acre or 1/10 of an acre, little zippity front yard and backyard, and he's done. This might cost me a little bit. If it's $200 a month that he decides to charge me, and I don't know, 200 in 1 year, that'll be $2,400. Let me go ahead and start looking for a mower. So I find one. I'm talking to the person. Oh, you guys are out near where I live. Can I come see it tonight? We won't be home till later. Come check it out tomorrow. So my kid, Nicole says, text me, can you get me affiliated at that place while you're out? I'm like, no, I can't. Because I might be going to see this mower. I can't. How come? The lady texts me back, we can't do it tonight. How about tomorrow? Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Nicole, Daddy will go get your Philly, and I'll get one for myself too, and my other kid, one of my other kids. So I placed the order on the phone, start heading over there to drive there. It's close from where I was sitting in the parking lot because I was doing something else while I was out. And I go to pick it up, and I have to order an additional sandwich for one of my kids. So that's going to be about 10 minutes. Okay. So rather than just sit in the store, let me go walk down the little sidewalk. There's a grocery store. There's it's like a little strip mall. I've never been any further than West Shore Pizza. That's the place. I go in, I get my stuff, and I leave. I've never strolled down the sidewalk or anything else. So let me go for a little walk, a little exercise while I'm just sitting around here doing nothing. I'm about to stuff my fat face with a Philly here shortly. Let me go ahead and get some calorie burning on real quick. Walk down to the edge of the sidewalk, past the grocery store, stand there for about 20 seconds, turn around, come back the other way. I see a lady who just walked up. I thought she may have been Spanish or, I wasn't sure. Definitely ethnic, background of some type. And she has this little boy with her. And her sign doesn't say, please help. I have 3 kids or whatever, like give me some money, or anything. Hers said, please help. I have 3 kids. One was standing there. Milk, food, groceries, anything will help, please. And I thought, I bet I can go right now. She's standing in front of the grocery store. I could probably take her inside that store and go shopping. But all the food's going to get cold. They're, kids are starving to death at home. I probably should just hand her a couple bucks. Then she can go shopping herself. I don't care what she does with the money, obviously, at this point. So get my Philly, go back in the car, drive back up to her. Hey, had $100. I had a few $100 in my pocket for about to purchase something I need some cash for here recently. And I'm like, oh, I don't have any change. Whatever. She's getting 100. I've been so, as some of you might call it, blessed, or universe likes me, karma, whatever you want to call it. I can afford to throw her $100. Let me tell you, things have been good for Jason for lately. The house stuff's coming through. My job's great. Got a good job. Cryptos, as you know my story. Again, just got in some $150, $45. They're now $225. $37 Litecoin's now 40 something. What is that? $45 as I'm sitting here. And then of course the other ones I've been sitting on. Populous is good. You get the story. And I'm thinking about how all this kind of just played out. I almost didn't go to the store at all, but then the lady said I couldn't go see the mower. So then I did go ahead and place the order. But then when I got there, even though my food was pretty much just about ready, I had to place a second order for my kids. Coincidence, right? Give me 10 more minutes. Let me go ahead and walk down here. She wasn't down there when I walked. And it's not far at all. You know, I'm there and back in like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. And now she's standing there. And I said, yeah. I knew instantly when I saw the sign, I knew what I was going to do. But I still wanted to read the sign as I got closer. And sure enough, I'd never seen one that said that, you know, eggs or milk, eggs, groceries. Most of the time it's, you know, please help, anything. Or it'll say, you know, $, anything, money, something. And I thought, again, she's standing in front of the store. If she was going to not, you know, was she going to tell me no if I say, hey, let's go inside and I'll buy you some groceries? I know she would have said yes. She's standing in front of the freaking store. And she has her little kid. So anyways, I pull up in the car as I'm leaving, throw her 100. And then she spoke, oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Bless your family, sir. Bless your family, sir. Is she like a Syrian refugee? And I'm looking at the kid. Oh yeah, they're not Spanish. These are Middle Eastern descent. These are definitely Middle Eastern descent. And then on the way back from that, I'm driving and see there's a store by my house where I live now. And I take the little side road like I do. And there's a couple of guys standing out in front of that grocery store with signs. No, I didn't pull in to give them money. These guys were not the family kind of guy with a kid. Let me go buy a 12-pack of beer or a bottle of booze, those kinds. So no, I'm not stopping. Sorry, I can tell on this one. The same feeling I just had a moment ago is not present here. I'm going to keep on trucking. But I'm just thinking, man, that's not the first time I've seen someone at the first place. There was a guy with a kid a while back. I might have mentioned that story. I was going to the same spot, get my Philly on the way out. This guy and his young kid are there. I think I had 40 or 50 bucks, 60 bucks, maybe, I don't remember. Whatever was in my wallet, you know what? And I normally don't keep cash on me like that. Screw it, you know, you need it. And he's like, look, man, you don't know how bad it is right now. And I'm trying to do anything I can, any help you can give is great. I appreciate it so much. You just don't know how bad I'm just down on my luck right now. And I can see the kid's face kind of embarrassed that he has to stand out there. It's gotta be super embarrassing for this kid. You know, if one of my kid friends from school sees me, you know, you can imagine. Could you imagine what the kids in the public school system would do if they went even to this one I gave today and saw this kid and his mom standing there? Hey, hey, Ahmed, what are you doing? I saw that sign. Yeah, you guys are so poor, huh? You know how it is in the public schools, man. Just, kids generally, man. Kids can be brutal. Just awful. I don't know what the hell's wrong with this generation these days, but I just felt like all that lined up for a reason, is I guess what I'm trying to say. Me going down there by coincidence, I almost said no, pretty much said no, then I went for a walk, which I never do when I'm there. Come back on the way back, there she is with the, just once, as soon as I saw her standing, boop, the feeling was all over me. Just instant, she needs help. You're not leaving this area until you help her. And I was like, okay, how can I go inside and get her groceries? How can I do this quickly? How can I make this happen so that my food's not like freezing cold and my daughter's not screaming, Daddy, it took you so long. I was already starving before. How can I pull this off? Can't do it. Let me just give her some money. Oh, I only got $100 bills right now. Oh, well, she's going to get a 100 spot. And then she saw it, she saw the number on, the 100. I saw it in her eyes like, oh my God. Like, You know, she just won the lottery. Love it. JSnip4, at your service, man. Refugee or not, whatever your story is. Mother, kids, struggling in this economy. I read the news. I know what the hell's going on. I'm talking about the real news. I do these videos every freaking day. I know the struggle is real. If I can help when I can, I can. And I do. And we should all think about that sometimes. We should all think, you know, when other people really are struggling. I'm about to go stuff my fat face while this lady's standing out here in this heat with her son in front of a grocery store, hiding behind the pillar. Speaking of pillar token, hiding behind the pillar so that employees maybe inside don't see her and run her off. You know, maybe you got to leave, you know, you're scaring our customers, you know, that kind of crap. So at least I was there quickly from the time she showed up. She just got there. Anyways, beautiful thing. Take care.